Hello all. I want to talk to you a little bit today about Wednesdays and what they're going to look like in my classes for distance learning. Now this applies to all the classes, but just a heads up for AP Calculus, when I say quizzes, that's the site that the other classes are doing their check-ins on and their quizzes on, and for you just substitute the word AP Classroom instead of for quizzes. So what Wednesdays are going to look like is you're going to be focusing on review and corrections. So the first thing you're going to want to remember is that you're not going to have any new content, you're not going to have any lectures or lessons, but you're still going to be using that allotted math time that you have every day to do one of three things. You can do a combination of these three options. All of them will be done in your homework notebook. So you're going to start by correcting your quizzes. So these, right now, for this first week, you don't have a week-long quiz, but this could mean also your check-ins. I will post answer keys on Wednesdays. So you'll have a week's worth of answer keys all posted, and they'll be as an attachment on Google Classroom. Now, for big quiz corrections, these are going to be in something called quiz corrections, and for check-in corrections, they're going to be attached in a big block called week blank answer keys. All right, and we're posting them on Wednesdays, and you'll see them in the classwork tab. Now, any student who earns less than 90% can correct. You don't have to correct, it's not mandatory, but if you get less than 90% on any of these exams, you can correct to a higher final score. If you got 90% or higher, and you can still correct the one, maybe two questions you got wrong, it's just not going to raise your score because you're already getting an A. Now, here's how the guide for these corrections will work. Here's the original percentage, and then the corrected score. So if you really struggled on an assignment, you can always correct to passing. So 60 is the minimum grade for passing. Now, if you're in the range of 51% to 79%, that's going to add 10% to your score. So if you scored 68%, your new score is going to be 78%. If you scored 75%, your corrected score is 85%. Basically, you're going up a letter grade. If you're in the 90s, you just correct. If you're in the 80s, I apologize, you just correct to 90% since that's the cutoff. So instead of being like plus 10, you just go up to that maximum cutoff amount. The way that you do corrections, if it's in Google Classroom, if it was a picture assignment, it's very easy to do corrections. Go to the assignment that you got the grade on that you want to fix. Look at the private comments for the information of why I gave you a lower score. Find that question in your homework notebook. Make the corrections in your correcting pen, and then take a new picture and resubmit it to that assignment. So once you've uploaded, just click resubmit, and make sure again that your corrections are done in a correcting pen. For a few problems, you might need to start from scratch. Correction points can also count towards late or incomplete. So if you are at a 0 because you didn't turn in an assignment yet, that's now from 2 weeks ago maybe, you could still correct to that 60 by resubmitting it or submitting it for the first time. If you're doing corrections on quizzes, go to the assignment that you want to correct and click on that link. And you're probably going to see this screen. Be like, oh, you can't reattempt this quiz, it's done. Or, oh, this quiz is timed out, you can't do anything. But if you've taken it, you will see what your grade was. So this is just a generic upper school student, and they got 100% on this assignment. Great. Click on this bar. Click on the assignment that you have already completed, and it'll take you to a screen like this. And this will give you some basic information. They got 5 correct, 0 incorrect. This is the original opening day one, so it's not surprising that they got 100%. As you scroll down, so you'll scroll down that way, you'll see the questions. Now, these questions, you'll notice that they don't show which one this student picked. It doesn't show you the correct one. It doesn't show you which one you picked. You need to click on the question, and that'll open a bigger list like this that'll tell you what your answer was. You're going to compare that answer to the answer keys that are posted on Google Classroom in the big answer key quiz correction assignment. Again, there's going to be a topic called quiz corrections. Just open the week that you want to correct on, open the answer key so you can compare your answer to the answer keys. If this was a wrong answer, you're going to take your homework notebook and you're going to write and solve and show all the work for the correct answer. Sometimes it might be a written explanation. So like for example here, you said for each lesson assignment, what's due at the end of the day, a picture of the one presentation problem is the correct answer. If you said pictures of all homework problems, you might not show your work. You might write out question 1, a picture of one presentation is due. I didn't read the instructions all that carefully. I understand now. So it might just be a written explanation. Take pictures of that written work in your homework notebook and attach them to the quiz correction assignment in that same category that you found all these answer keys in. And I won't promise that I won't check that every single time you upload it, but I will always check by the end of the unit because that's when quiz corrections are due for that chapter. So that's part of what you'll be focusing on during the days leading up to a test. Please let me know if you have any questions about Wednesdays or corrections. For today, for this Wednesday, you've just got your 2 check-ins that you've done so far. So you probably aren't going to spend your whole time doing quiz corrections. The other options that you have are to finish any homework that you didn't complete from earlier in the week. Again, probably not a huge amount to do. And then you have review problems that are recommended. They're completely optional. I'm not going to collect any of them. But they're a nice place to get started by just to see, oh, you know, I maybe want to do a little bit more math. There's some recommended homework questions that will be posted here as well. Hopefully this answers a couple of your questions about what Wednesdays are going to be used for. Please ask any more questions in the comments and I'll try to get to them as soon as I can. For School of Rhetoric students, watch out for next Wednesday. I'm going to give you a week to sort of settle in and figure this out, and then I'll post a video about what honors work is going to look like in Google Classroom and distance learning this year. Talk to you later. Bye.